All hail. Yeah, we ain't doing that again. Hello everybody and welcome to the new room that I will be filming in, the new studio, if you will. Today we are going to be going with the same theme as the last video where I used red velvet cake mix to make crepes. This video I'll be using peanut butter cookie mix to make biscotti. So, let's get started. I began this whole process by preheating the oven to 325 and then preparing my sheet. I had a brain fart and forgot that the mix already had sugar in it, so then I had to funnel the sugar back in, but I ended up missing and spilling it all over the floor, so then I had to take a vacuum break. Once everything was all cleaned up, it was time to put in the peanut butter cookie mix, which I'm doing right here. I put in a half cup of water. I don't know exactly how much oil I put in, I just kind of eyed it. Put in 4 tablespoons of softened butter. Then I beat that all together to see where I was at, how close I was to biscotti texture. At this point, this dough was extremely sticky, so I added an egg. Here I am mixing it all up again. So here's my game plan. I basically was going through different biscotti recipes, like seeing what the texture should be like. I noticed that I needed to knead the dough at some point, so it needed to be like enough, like floury enough and solid enough so it wouldn't stick too much. And at this point, it was extremely sticky, so I was kind of worried. Bruh. So then I put in another egg. Did that make it worse? Did that make it better? Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know. Here I am beating up that second egg. Y'all, please don't tell me that my forehead looked like that. Obviously, the eggs just made it worse. So then I said flour time. Oh, won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? That's the only lyrics that I know. Are there any other lyrics? Anyway, the flour was making it more like the texture that I wanted, so I realized that I needed to add more flour to make it the way I want. So at first I was going to only add a little bit, but then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to add it all. Send it. At this point it was getting hard to mix, so I knew that it was the right texture and it was time to add the peanuts. I added a total of a cup of peanuts. Now it was time to stir the whole mixture together, and I sped this up, but it was very taxing. My arm was aching afterward. The dough was definitely very sticky and dense. Because my hands were warm and the dough was very heavy, sticky, and dense, there was no way that I was going to be able to actually knead this, so I went ahead and I got out parchment paper, and I was just planning to put the dough on there, shape it into a log with the parchment paper. I know, I covered the camera, I'm dumb like that. And yeah, that was my goal. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. How'd y'all feel about The Greatest Showman anyway? He a chunky boy. Anyway, enjoy this sped up video of me trying to figure out how to get the log onto the actual baking pan. I do be wasteful. And I do be stupid. It's practically a short film, you know.
Or do you want to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, chill in the freezer? No. See, it's going to break.
Basically, in these clips, my mom and our 5 shared brain cells were trying to figure out how to get it on. She wanted me to chill it so it'd be easier to do it. I just sent it. No way. So after we absolutely slammed it on the parchment paper like it called our mama fat, I tried to like reshape it so it looked more like a traditional log. It was supposed to be 5 inches wide was the recommended size for the biscotti, so here I am pressing it and measuring it. I think at one point we actually get a ruler and measure it. So, yeah. Thick Boy Part 2. I don't know what's wrong with this clip, but I set my timer for 20 minutes. So this is how it looked after its first time of baking. Remember that biscotti is baked twice. That's why it's called bi and biscotti. So now I am meant to cut it into strips like this and then lay it on its side so that it can cook more evenly and more like crunchy. Here's how they look. See, they're a little raw in the center. After probably about like 10 or 12 more minutes of baking, I went ahead and pulled them, which if you're doing this, I would recommend cooking them a little bit longer. Lesson learned. Here's the beautiful picture that my mom took of them. Yes, they look wonderful. This right here is my pretty boy swag. Hey. And now it's time to let our judges taste, or our judge. Alright, so what do we have here today? Oh, okay, so today I made for you a peanut butter cookie mix biscotti. Definitely has a very nice crust. Thanks. Chef, let's try it. I definitely like that there's real peanuts in there. I also like the flavor. It's very classic. Thank you. The only problem I have with this biscotti is that it's very dense and not really as flaky all the way throughout as it should be. Like, I need to have a crunch with every bite. Oh, sorry. I'll work on that next time. So, if you could find a way to make it less like oily and make it more light, because this kind of feels like a protein bar, but I like it. It tastes great. I would have it with my coffee. Thank you, Chef. All right, thank you. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's literally it's a wrap. Anyway, hope you liked the video. I had a lot of fun making this. I learned a lot. Yeah, really, if I were to change one thing, I would just make it. I probably should have cooked it longer because it was kind of like chewy in the center and it shouldn't have been, but whatever. I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot in like making my own original recipes, so yeah, it was super fun. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and ooh. Come where next week, hopefully I will be using brownie mix to make cookies. Bye-bye. Are you getting flashbacks yet? I'm sorry.